Starting a brand new save in Football Manager can feel overwhelming. There are thousands of clubs from all over the world staring back at you from the screen. And today I'm going to help you find the perfect club for your first FM26 save, whatever your play style may be. Hello folks, I'm Kev. Welcome along if you're new to the channel, and make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be posting daily FM26 videos the moment early access lands. So, like I say, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on. You don't want to miss out on any of that. It's all going to be good stuff. And before we jump in, if you are planning on grabbing FM26, make sure you use my pre-order link down in the description below. It's cheaper than Steam, still includes the early access, and helps support the channel so I can keep cranking out the little old guides like this one. And also a couple of quick admin notes before we get into picking clubs. I love starting a video with admin. As we all know, international management isn't in FM26, at least at launch. So we're sticking to club football for this video. Likewise, there's no creator club. So all of these suggestions use real teams from the default database. And with women's football arriving in FM26, everything here applies to both men's and women's team. You can pick whichever one you fancy. Literally, if you want. So category 1 is beginner friendly clubs. Starting things off nice and simple, particularly if you're new to Football Manager, or maybe you just want a stress-free first save on the new user interface on the new game, you're going to want to choose a beginner friendly club. And the most beginner friendly clubs around are the big giant mega clubs. We're talking Manchester City. They've got an enormous budget, world-class squad. Some of the best players in the game, Erling Haaland, are at Manchester City. You're almost guaranteed trophies, which means you can then spend the time learning the new UI and the new game. Likewise, Real Madrid, you're going to have the likes of Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinicius at your disposal. Massive squad, huge budget. And again, you're just going to win without really trying while you learn how the new match engine works, for example. And then same again, Bayern Munich, another good example. Huge resources, absolutely dominant in the league that they're in. You could insert Paris Saint-Germain in that category as well. It's a club where you are basically guaranteed to win the league unless you do something desperately wrong. And managing these big clubs lets you experiment without the pressure of things going wrong, getting in relegation battles, risking getting sacked. But I do understand for some of you, club allegiances or pride mean you can't bring yourself to start with a mega club. So if you want to go next tier down, it's also never a bad idea to start with the team you support in real life, unless it's like a little non-league team where it's going to be really hard. But assuming you support a big team, you'll already have a good idea of which players are good, what kind of tactics work. So again, you can focus on the important stuff like learning the new UI, learning the new game mechanics without having to also learn a squad of players, learn who plays where, all that kind of stuff. Stick with stuff you already know. Category 2 are the story-rich clubs. So these are the teams that just kind of have built-in drama, and you just have to insert your own storytelling to the story that's already there. I'm thinking, for example, Wrexham. Obviously, we all know the story of Wrexham over the past few years. They've now made it all the way up to the Championship with their fancy Hollywood backing. They are struggling a little bit in real life now that they're at a higher level. So can you pick up the story so far and take them the rest of the way there? It's, like I say, a built-in story. Another one that people recommend every year, Athletic Bilbao. You're only allowed to sign Basque players, which is a brilliant challenge for your scouts. It's great for youth development. And again, it just adds a little bit of a twist to just a normal Football Manager save. And then maybe for something a little bit different that I've not really explored before, Pauli in the Bundesliga. They're, you know, passionate fans, loads of off-pitch uniqueness about them, but a club that in real life hasn't experienced loads and loads of success. Can you convert that cult club status into European football dominance, especially in a league that is already dominated by Bayern Munich? Basically, if you love like narrative and the immersion of a story in your Football Manager saves, these are the kind of clubs you want to be aiming at, the ones that do have a story attached to them, a reason for you to want them to succeed. Or fail, in the case of Wrexham, maybe. Category 3, we've got our rebuild projects. Who doesn't love a rebuild? They've been all over YouTube in recent years, and there's a reason for it. People enjoy it. And there are some nice rebuilds sat there ready to go for FM26. Valencia, for example, have fallen off from being one of the title contenders in Spain just a few years ago to having a few financial problems, falling out of European qualification. Yeah, they recovered a little bit last season, but can you help them recover all the way back and maybe try and topple Real Madrid and Barcelona with them? 'Tis a challenge for sure. Lyon in France, another example, won Ligue 1 a gazillion times, but again, hit a financial crisis a couple of years ago. Can you turn them back into a team that can challenge for the French title and maybe compete with Paris Saint-Germain for the Champions League title as well? And then one that I seem to go back to every few years, and I'm managing them at the moment in my Empire save, Hamburg in Germany. They are back in the Bundesliga after yo-yoing back and forth in recent years, but they've not started the season particularly well. They are expected to struggle, and they're certainly nowhere near where they were back when they were European powerhouses. There's huge potential, massive ground, massive fan base, a club that's good fun to build back up to where they once were. Basically, if you enjoy transfer windows and completely turning over a squad and bringing in loads of new players and trying to balance the books while you do it, turning a club around, rebuilds will definitely be for you. Just look for any team that look like they're underperforming and go work your magic on them. And then, of course, we've got the extreme challenges. These are the ones that pop up on Reddit every now and again. People get very excited about. They're very much Football Manager veterans only, hard mode Football Manager. And there are a few of these, most of which I've never tried and probably never will because they just don't sound fun. But I know some of you just love to be punished, which is probably something we can discuss in a different video. But one example of these might be a micronation project. It's a little bit different now. We don't have international management in there to go hand in hand in it, but you can pick a club from a tiny footballing country. I don't know specifically which ones are going to be in the database. I mean, the likes of San Marino, Andorra, Malta, Iceland, Luxembourg, these little, there's a chance none of them are going to be in the vanilla database. So you might be waiting for mods to unlock stuff for you. Let's face it, this isn't going to be a save you want to do at launch anyway, but pick a tiny nation and try and have success with a tiny club from a tiny nation. It's quite challenging, especially if you set your win condition as winning the Champions League with a club from a tiny nation who don't even normally qualify for it. Maybe slightly less hardcore would be taking on a club that's tipped for relegation in one of the big leagues. We're talking like a Burnley in the Premier League, or maybe you twist it and go for a team that has been relegated a bit recently, like Luton, for example, down in League One. Can you get them back up to the Premier League again where they were just a few years ago? Stuff like that is always good fun. Or maybe a financial rescue, maybe with a club very much teetering on the brink. Someone like Morecambe, who very nearly didn't exist at all. That might be a fun little challenge, depending on how it's reflected in the Football Manager database. Just keeping them afloat might be an achievement in itself. And then obviously starting to move them up the leagues and doing a road to glory style thing with them could be a brilliant test of your budgeting and squad building skills. Saves like this are likely to be more long term. They can potentially be quite brutal. You have to be quite brave to do them as your first save, but you will get some great stories out of them if and when you succeed. So lots of options there, but how do you actually choose between the options that I presented you with? I think there's a few things for you to think about. One, difficulty. What is your actual goal going into this save? Are you looking to learn the game, or are you looking for pain and suffering, or maybe something in between, and use that to kind of steer you towards either end of the scale? Also, what sort of time commitment are you looking for? I know not everybody can play the game for 12 hours a day all year long like I do. How many seasons do you realistically want this save that you're planning now to have? Are you looking for just like a 2 or 3 season rebuild that you'll maybe spread out over months in the couple of hours a week you get to play? Or are you planning to get through a 30 season saga by the end of November, in which case pick something a bit bigger and a bit more complicated, get your mileage out of it properly. And like I said at the start, never discount a personal connection. It may be worth managing the team you support, or a team that's local to you, a team that you're aware of from real life. That personal connection can be the difference between you like feeling a save and struggling to get into one. But that was just a very quick summary of 4 examples of different types of club that you could go with for your first FM26 save. Now it's over to you. Let me know down in the comments, what club are you planning on starting with and why? And have I missed any obvious gems from this video? Any really, really good suggestions might see me stealing the idea, especially during the early access. And if this video has helped you decide, make sure you hit like on the video, subscribe for more FM26 stuff. And remember, you can use the link at the top of the description below to pre-order the game cheaper than it is on Steam, and you still unlock that early access, which will hopefully be hitting mid-October. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck picking your first FM26 club, and I'll see you every single day once early access begins.